Hi, my name is Matt. I've been working on the Cool Dinners project with Dean,
Hi, my name is Dean, and I am part of the Cool Dinners team with Matt,
and I've been working mostly on the front end side of things.
and I was responsible mostly for the back-end side of the project. Hello, and welcome to the Cool Dinners presentation by myself, Dean Spooner, and Matt Holmes. Starting off, why did we choose to do Cool Dinners as our project? Well, just to give you a little bit of background, up until a month ago, was a primary school teacher, and Matt currently works in a restaurant. And throughout the course, we've been talking about ideas that we could do together, and eventually we settled on the idea of doing a school dinner ordering app, so kind of combining our backgrounds together. As opposed to current options in schools, such as teachers using paper forms in the morning or children simply going to the canteen and ordering their dinner, we felt that in current times we could offer a better solution whereby users, such as teachers and canteen staff, will be able to order meals or view meal orders for classes ahead of time. This allows for the reduction of errors regarding stock requirements, so canteens would know exactly how much of a particular meal option they need to prepare in advance, which of course then reduces food wastage. And it also means that there is less risk of a child ordering a meal that contains an allergen that they are allergic to, as Cool Dinners make sure that that cannot happen. Okay, and now to talk about the back end. It was built using MySQL, Docker Express, and Heroku, which we'd used throughout the Manchester Codes course. It used a pre-existing database that Matt had used in one of his personal projects from before. We built on that database and we added routes and controllers that would handle children's orders. And eventually, we also added routing and controllers for adding and editing users and food options.
So I was in charge of the front end side of this app, and this was built using what you'd expect to build a front end app with, such as React, CSS, JavaScript. But we also used Axios for back end requests, and we used moment.js to display the date for when you're ordering food on the teacher view. The first steps to building this app, we built a navbar that would link to the canteen view and the teacher view. And once we'd done that, we wrote some code, did some CSS styling so it would show hard coded data. And then as the backend developed, we were then able to get rid of the hard coded data and replace it with Axios requests, such as posting from the teacher view to a database so the canteen could get the food orders. And once this had been completed, we decided to create an administrator view that would be in charge of the canteen view, the teacher view. It would be able to add and edit users, even delete users where necessary, and they could also update children information such as allergy orders.
Okay, and now we are going to move on to the demo part of the presentation. And as you can see, this is the home screen for Cool Dinners and it requires a login. So to start off with, I'm going to log in as a teacher. So let me log in as Mr. Spooner and put my password in and log in. And as you can see, the first screen has a nice little home page which just details the teacher view and add child view. So if I go into the teacher view, this is essentially like any standard register that any teacher would be familiar with. It has the names of all the children in my class and the food options that I can choose for the next meal order. So if I was to, I'll just do a few of these. If that person was to have a corn curry, that person have a tuna salad, that person have a pasta, and that person have a pasta as well. As you can see, as I mentioned before, this app makes sure that allergies can't be chosen by a child who has a particular allergy. So this child here in my class, Chris, must have an allergy to fish, so he can't choose the tuna salad option, so he would have to choose something else. The default option for any child is food not needed, just in case. When I'm done, I click on done here, and Heroku will process that request and it will pass it on to the canteen view. Another feature that teachers have is the ability to add a child entering the name here. So if, for example, if I was to, let's say, John, because I'm very imaginative, I can only add to my class 1DS, and I can choose a first food option for that child. So he's going to have pasta, but John has an allergy to milk, so he can't choose any food options that have a milk content in it. If I click add, I get a nice little notification there saying that it has worked. Now, if I move on to the canteen view, I'll just log in very quickly. Hopefully, we will see some of those orders put into the canteen view. Let's click here. And yeah, there we go. So we had those 3 pasta orders, including the one from John there, the tuna salad order and the corn curry order. And again, you can see a class by class breakdown. So 1DS here and the other classes. I just moved myself over here. You can see the other classes as well and their sort of cumulative totals as well. Now, the canteen has a few more options. They're able to add menu items and edit menu items as well. So currently, there's all these options in the menu. Lots of them are not selected. The canteen currently is set to take 4 options to be presented. So we have pasta number 1, meat pie number 3, and so on. But if I wanted to change one of these to number 1, let's say pizza, I simply click. And as you'll see, it has now swapped that. And if I change the canteen view, it's now swapped this. But the teachers will have to make sure that they reorder for those children. I can also add in menu items. So let's say I wanted to add a ham sandwich. I'm going to give it a simple table value so that Backend can read this. It has no allergens and it has meat content. I add the item. And as we'll see in edit menu, it is now an option.
So following on from Dean, I am going to show you the admin side of our app. I'm going to start by creating a new user. I'm just going to call him, he can be called Mr. Pending, and he can have a very basic password, and he can be a teacher of 2AW. When he goes to register, there are certain constraints that the password must follow, such as having a capital letter and being over 8 characters. And so as you can see, now he has registered, the request has been sent to the administrator's side. So if I go back here and log in as the admin, you'll be able to see that we have all the views that were shown with Dean, with the canteen view and the teacher view, but there's also the admin tools side. So I can add a user, which is the register user page you've just seen. I can then edit the users. So these two here are both pending approval. I'm going to delete Mr. Mail and accept Mr. Pending as a teacher. And as you can see, Mr. Mail was deleted. And if I quickly just go to the console, just don't look at the red bits, you can see that the pending user has been deleted and that the user has been added for Mr. Pending. And that is basically all the admin can do. And the last thing that we want to show you on the admin side is the Edit Children page. So I can click and I can see all of the children from all of the different classes. And from there, I can remove the child. I also have the ability to add to any class on the admin side. And I also have the power to be able to add food and edit the menu.
So some problems that we encountered. One problem that I personally encountered was calls, or rather Heroku presenting calls as an error. But we eventually discovered, thanks to the help of our friends, that Heroku couldn't handle many simultaneous requests being handled at once or being sent at once. We discovered that when we were posting children's food options, it was sending each one as an individual post request, which wasn't really ideal. And so instead, we had to really think about how we presented that data. So instead of it sending as 15 or 30 individual requests, we had it sent as one larger array of requests, and that helped solve that particular problem.
The main issue that we had was unhard coding all of the data that we had originally hard coded in, partly because it was a pretty time consuming task, but also because we were having issues with Axios requests, making sure we had everything correct in all the radio inputs. And here we have a couple of pictures from the front end app from the canteen view. And that's everything from me and Dean. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed our presentation.